Welcome to season 26 of TGP2. It is round 19 and 20. It is USA and Mexico. We could be crowning our youngest ever champion in TGP tonight. But will he just be extending his championship lead, or will he be crowning himself the champion? I am a bit rusty, not been here all season, but due to high demand from Dominic Smith, I have returned, and I am joined with four-time TGP1 champion, Dan the Man.
Hello Aidan, it's good to be here once again. Tell you what, I've had a shaky start in the commentary box there, but Alistair's doing very well. Look at this, he's way ahead at the minute. He's just gone even quicker.
That he is, 4/10 ahead of second placed Camel Babble. So he's doing exactly what he needs to do. He doesn't need to really worry about Camel Babble. It is more about Mayor Quimby and South Watford Football Club Jordan. With Alistair on 300, Owen on 268, 32 points back, and Jordan on 36 points back from that on 264. The constructors as well is quite interesting as well, Dan. We've got a lot of people in the mix for this. AlphaTauri, Racing Point, Mark, Alistair and McLaren.
Yeah, it's so close, it's so close. Yeah, Alistair maybe might not be able to get to the constructors because he doesn't actually have a teammate tonight, so that would be pretty difficult for him, but certainly Racing Point, AlphaTauri, Mercedes right in it as well, and possibly Renault and McLaren as the outsiders, but that's going to go right down to the wire.
Possibly they are the outsiders, I will say. Is Jack might actually get a lap in here. No, never mind. Just invalidated.
No, he's invalidated. I don't think Jordan's going to get a lap in either, unless he's going again. I think he's going for one more push lap. Oh, he's just nearly lost it there at the start of the second sector, but he needs to get this in. I think Alistair is just so quick in the second sector. I think that's where he finds all his time. Well,
he won't be going out again. He is still in the pits with 1:30 remaining, so that is it for him. Can Camel Babble find the 4 attempts he needs to try and snatch pole away from him? We do have a wet race as well. Don't believe it is full wet, believe it is light rain, so the intermediates, I believe, will be required for that. Jordan is going for another lap.
And he's 2 thousandths down on his previous lap. This is not looking good, I don't think, to get pole from Alistair. Alistair is 32 points ahead of second place Owen in the championship, and then Jordan is on 36.
That Owen also at 1 out lap. Yes, Owen is as well, 141.6 for him so far, so our attention will turn to him at some point, but Jordan coming across the line, he doesn't improve. Still a 131.1. Dom in fourth has called it quits on his qualifying session. Mike is coming across the line now to finish his last lap. He goes up to fourth placing.
Jack Pearson's invalidated again, so he's crashed out.
And starting last, not what he needed one bit. Chris Thurgood on a lap as well. Let's see if he can stay connected to a lobby for more than 2 seconds. I'll probably jinx myself there, but let's see if he can get a lap, and he has got AMS Indecisive ahead of him. Let's see, opening the DRS, still quite a lot of battery as well.
Oh, coming back is off! Oh no, it's not, sorry, it's the wrong car. Apologies.
Mike Noon was off there. I believe it was Mike Noon. Too busy watching Chris, but I do believe it was Mike Noon, rocking an interesting number on that Red Bull. It's typical of Chris Thurgood, losing the rear through there.
But he retires.
Relatively cleanish lap from him so far, and he's just gone wide. It's not a validated, but definitely on a second run here with the little battery that he is running.
Jordan's gone again. Jordan is gone again. Of course, he can go again because it's a wet race, so you can use up your tyres, I suppose. But let's see where Chris goes first.
Across the line now, 32.4, now down to a 31.9. Stays P8, out qualified by his teammate, only by a 10th though. So Chris Thurgood better than Alex Albon. Owen is massively up. And there we go.
Jordan's 3 thousandths off. So this is Owen then. Can he get on the front row alongside the championship leader? It did say he was purple in sector 2.
Demi in the chat was making sure no one was saying there's a neck now, but there's not. Where can he go? Second.
Does get on the front row.
Nowhere near Alistair's time though, but he'll take that though. He's on the same row as him. He's ahead of Jordan and Camel Bab.
Top 2 in the championship, or the top 2 on the grid here then, and then Cameron Babo third, Jordan fourth. They are in reverse positions in the championship. Jordan's third in the championship, Cameron Babo is fourth in the championship. But the top four in the top four of the grid, and it's a wet race, which I believe Alistair is not a big fan of.
I don't think so, no. He seems to be quite quick in it, but he wasn't too impressed with the wet race when I went in to check to see if it was wet or not. I think he definitely wanted it to be dry.
That is, well, I have to say with a 32-point lead, he can probably deal with having another dodgy race, I suppose. He can still get this championship. He could win the championship tonight if he gets both race wins.
That he can, yes. Will he be extending it, or will he be confirming it?
Just quickly look at the
could get
constructors. Oh, hello, John. Yeah, 362 points for AlphaTauri, 355 for Racing Point. Mercedes are on 323. Renault then on 303, although I say Alistair doesn't have a teammate tonight, and McLaren are on 293. Not great for Mercedes though in the constructors, with Jack Pearson not getting a lap in.
Jack. If Dom, if you are listening, or Jack as well, some things never change with that boy. Some things never change with Jack.
Yeah, Racing Point are in a good position for this race then to possibly get into the lead of the constructors, I suppose, with their cars higher, with Owen in second, and I think Nell Jack was in ninth.
I believe so, yes. But here we go then. That is qualifying for the United States Grand Prix in TGP2. Alistair takes another pole position and adding more to his TGP2 tally. He's got a few now. Owen is 3.5 tenths back in second, but will be happy to be on that front row. Cameron Babel is third. Jordan fourth. Mike Noon an impressive P5. Dom will be happy with sixth, 1.1 off the pace. But as a seventh, Chris, if he can stay connected, will start eighth. Neil Jack is ninth. Bear Grylls in the other McLaren is P10. Joe will be disappointed. 2.7 off the pace, and in 11th, M-Ship 12th, Angel versus Death 13th, Mr. John 14th, Sir Tom Penguin P15, Indecisive 16th, Kim 17th, and in 18th place with not a time set, Jack Pearson.
Quite a bit of a field spread in the times as well, which is rare for TGP2. Last time I remember this happening was Singapore. But with it being a wet race, it pretty much annuls all chance of dry running in terms of lap time. So hopefully the field should be close together throughout.
It's the first wet session for TGP2, and it's come at round 19. Who is going to have the confidence on the brakes into turn one? Who's going to have the confidence for the whole race if it is going to stay wet for the duration of this 25%, just past the 18-minute qualifying session? And now we will be crowning a winner of the US Grand Prix when the lights eventually come on. It's always a wait, this, but looking at
very
some
quickly,
crowd.
Yeah, you can see as well the inter tyres in the garage, so it will be inters for them all.
Well, you've got good eyes. Oh yeah, I can see that. Wow, you've got really good eyes. But here we go then, the lights are coming on for TGP2. It's round 19. It's USA, the top two in the championship, but on the front row, it's lights out and away we go. Calwell has not got going. He looks at a promising start from Owen. He's trying to pull alongside the rest. A good start from Mike as well. A bit of banging wheels in the back, but Owen does lead into turn one. He gets past Alistair. Jordan trying to make the move as well, but Alistair tries the old switcheroo, swooping now down the hill. Can he stay on that outside? Oh no, and Cal Bubble has been disqualified, so not good for McLaren. Alistair does lead into the S section, so he did lose the lead for a moment there, but it has now gained it back in these damp conditions. At Owen second, Mike an impressive P3 at a minute. Can he hound the back of Mayor Quimby? Jordan fourth, and Dom fifth. Still yellow flag in sector one.
Well, that is surely Camaro's championship over. I don't know what happened, but he is out. He's disqualified. Did not move off the start line. Is Mike New go for second place on Owen now after him getting the lead early on? Can Mike New now get into second place, and which will help Alistair even further? Blake Gill's had a brilliant start, by the way, although, as I say, they'll lose a couple of positions. And I think Dom's gone round as well. Dom's losing a whole pack of positions as well. But can Mike New get into second place here?
He's definitely trying now. Who's later on the brakes? Who's braver in these conditions? It looks like car number 38. Can he try and find his way past Owen? This is exactly what Alistair needs if he's wanting to win this Drivers' Championship. They're still side by side the two, and it looks like Owen has the better traction, but now it's a double left-hander. Up the inside goes Mike Noon, and into second place. Who's got the traction out of here? And very slow, and now Jordan is all over the back of him.
Yeah, well, I think Owen actually drove into Mike Noon there, but luckily, somehow, I don't think there was any damage, which would have totally destroyed Owen's race. But yeah, Jordan will be right on him now as well. And as you say, this is perfection for Alex. They're looking at a 2-second lead at the end of the first lap, and he lost the lead into turn 1.
Well, he's starting lap 2 out of 14. We are predicting it to be wet for the whole duration of this race. Jack already up to 9th. We're interested to see what happened then with Dom Smith. He's found his way past Blair Grills as well. Does he have any wing damage on that mark? I don't believe he does, so maybe just getting caught out somewhere. Mr. John now all over the back of him as well. This is for not the final point. Just remember it goes down to P14 in TGP2. I really should look at the rule book before I step into the commentary box. But that is a fantastic move from Mr. John, and is now ahead of Dom Smith at very tricky conditions. Smallest mistake, and it's the wall.
An amazing start by Jack Pearson as well. He was at the very back, remember, but he's up to 8th.
Joe all over the back of Michael Kenny. He'll finally check the 1 and 2. Not quite sure what that is for, but Michael Kenny not looking overly quick at the minute. And can Joe find his way past?
Sorry, Aidan, yeah, you will have seen that Mike Noon has a penalty already then, just on lap 2 of this race. So Owen will be getting told that, I'm sure, by his engineer at some point. But Jordan as well also. Baz has made a good start. Look at Angel versus Death in 6th place as well.
Fantastic start from him. I've lost all my intervals, so if you have yours...
Same.
Okay, I was about to say, it's up to you then to let me know, but here comes Joe. Is he going to go for it now? Very late on the brakes, but gets the car stopped. Car number 93, ahead of Angel versus Death, and into P6. Next car on his attack list will be F1 Baza 86, and he is catchable. It'll be interesting to see what Joe can do in this race. It'll be interesting to see where Jack as well Dan can finish in this. He's all over the back of these guys already, and he was last.
Yeah, well, I suppose that shows maybe that he really he's nearly gone into the back of Angel versus Death there. Angel versus Death was obviously, well, he was a lot more cautious with that corner, and it forced Jack Pearson to take the face of action and run off himself, which has totally lost him momentum now. Oh, and he nearly loses it again.
Oh, he's going
to go for the final corner.
Flangs it up the inside and gets it done. Very brave from Jack. My intervals are returning as they all cross the line. It's an absolute chaos in the back here. Mr. John now has made another position and is all over the back of Jack. Can he try and get the other mark now? Chris has pulled into the pit lane. Dom Smith then tried to get on board with him, but it went with Michael Kenny up the inside off the Williams, and is ahead of him to Michael Kenny. Maybe going back into the position where he's been all season, maybe a bit out of position in P6. But the other drivers quickly displacing him, and Dom then all over the back already of Mr. John, who's creating his own lines.
Gone off, Mr. John. Yeah, making his own circuit there, but luckily for him, there's a hell of a lot of runoff, so he gets away with it. Doesn't even get a penalty for it, although Dom might be on him down this straight in a few moments' time. At the front, the gap is still around the same, 2 seconds, 2.1 seconds. Jordan is still less than a second behind Owen, but you just can't get close to each other for an overtake at the minute, those top 4.
It is very difficult to overtake in these conditions on this game, but like you said, Mike does have the penalty, which is a shame because these are he needs cars in between him and Owen and Jordan if he's wanting to keep extending that, to try and wrap it up as early as possible. But if Mike has that penalty, then Owen will drop behind him. But the gap is 1.6. He's slowly dropping back. The gap's coming down as well between Alistair and Mike, so I'm interested to see what those two are doing. But Dom Smith then still on the back of Mr. John. Qualified very well, but not the race start he would have wanted.
Oh, Red Bull came in, Neljak getting very close there. Neljak did not have a great start to this race, which is bad for Racing Point in the Constructors. And he tried to get past Red Bull Kim, but Red Bull Kim was actually very strong on the defence there, fair play.
He's got the pace at the minute, does Red Bull Kim, car number 70. But can he keep Alex behind him for much longer? I would like to think Alex can find his way past. But Kim has shown signs of improvement in pace this season. And
Angel versus Death is off. Angel versus Death is off and is pitting. Oh, and Red Bull Kim spun as well at the final corner. Oh, we put the commentator's case on him, Aidan.
Well, that we did, and that is a shame, really. Because, he was up there. But Sutton Penguin, with a bit of wing damage on the back of Bear Grylls. Does he have damage as well? Yes, he does. But the gap is definitely coming down between those two. But the gap's staying at about 8/10 between Dom and Mr. John, and Jordan and Owen, or vote Mayor Quimby. So it'll be interesting to see if those guys can pull that gap in. Obviously no DRS in these conditions. And if you're new to Formula 1, DRS, the drag reduction system, within a second of the car behind, you open it, you get an extra 15 miles an hour, makes your car less draggy down the straight. Good.
But not in these conditions, of course.
Too dangerous.
Tom probably wouldn't mind having a risk with the DRS now, though, right behind Mr. John, but can't get through at all. If it stays like this, I know it's only lap 4, but if it does stay like this, Alistair will put his championship lead to a 39-point gap, assuming that Mayor Quimby stays within 3 seconds of Owen.
Well, to win it tonight, he needs a 53-point gap going into next week if he wants to wrap it up tonight. That is unlikely. We don't believe Jordan or Owen to DNF in any of these races. But it would go a long way to helping him secure it if he does have a mare in any of the other weeks. But if we don't believe that it's going to
Babo. So strange, isn't it? He just didn't move off the grid.
And then got disqualified, which obviously isn't great. But yeah, that is definitely his championship in the bin. Chris Thurgood all over the back of Indecisive and gets a bit of wing damage.
He's in the back of Indecisive.
Well,
and I think he might have to pit.
Yeah, I think he will. That car not turning at all. He's barely got any speed. I don't know how much telemetry on this whole thing. Oh, Indecisive as Tokyo drifting. Nailed it now, all over the back of Sir Tom Penguin. He'll be looking to find his way back past, and there's the norm. Here's from a 3-second time penalty, but Mr. John isn't within 3 seconds anyway. But can Alex find his way past Tom, or Sir Tom Penguin?
Well, let's have a look. We only got really... Oh, and Eljack just totally missed the corner. It's going to lose him a lot of time. But it's not a lot of really close battles on the track at the minute. 2 Mercedes are quite close behind some of the cars, though. The Say Sports and Mr. John, but it's so difficult to overtake in the rain, isn't it, on this game?
That it is. You just don't get the purchase out of the corners or the grip in the corners. And maybe Dom running a bit too much wing on that mark. Maybe a bit of panicky from qualifying. Maybe up the downforce a bit too much because he's looking quite slow in a straight line, even running the overtake. I don't know if he was running rich or not. Obviously no DRS in these conditions. But not looking very quick in a straight line. Mr. John's got nothing in front of him, and the gap was not coming down overly quick in a straight line.
Well, John Taylor is on the drinks because of Jack's penalty, which I imagine is a game that many people like to play.
And it's, if you are under the age of 18, we do not recommend, as you will then become an alcoholic. And it will cost you a lot of money, but yes, under 18, don't play. But if over 18, yeah, fire on.
So Tom Penguin going a bit wide there, which has allowed Eljack to close up a little bit more. I wonder if he'll fancy having a go into turn 1. So Tom Penguin, you did say he had damage, didn't you, a few laps ago, so he's obviously still suffering with that on his front wing. He's using overtake into turn 1 and he'll keep the position. Oh, he goes very wide, but he should keep the position. Eljack might get a good exit here. He's having a go around the outside.
It's a fantastic move in from Alex.
Lovely.
Absolutely brilliant. When you drink, never drive, says Sean. That is true. Not even on a video game. It's too serious. The gap's come down to 1.1 between Alistair and Mike. So has Alistair made a mistake somewhere, but Mike is definitely... He set purple middle sector, so maybe just picking up the pace of it. He's pulled away from Owen as well. So maybe he was just staying back a few laps, looking after the tyres. But it will be... He's got a penalty as well, so he's not really in contention for this win unless Alistair picks one up as well.
I mean, it's strange that the gap's come down so much because on the previous lap, lap 5, just having a quick look here, Alistair was very quick in sector 1 and sector 2, setting personal best, but he's had a very poor second sector on this lap, so I wonder if he did make a bit of an error. Look, it's less than a second now, the gap. He's right there.
It's not. It's the fastest lap as well for Mike, so he's really gunning for it. It's not going to be the end of the world if he does get past, as long as Alistair doesn't pick up a penalty. But Owen will be rubbing his hands at this because Well, Mike and Alistair going to battle is get the marshals ready, because there's going to be some debris. Get Bert Mylander in the car ready to go. Dom has decided to come in.
Well, is that a tyres, or does he have damage? Does he think the tyres are going to go off for everybody else, and he decides to pit at the halfway stage of this race? I'd be surprised if that's the reason why.
Another set of inters for him.
And has he changed his front wing or anything?
No wing change for Dom, so maybe, I know he struggles with the tyre. There we go, there's no one. He does struggle with tyre, so maybe, hoping maybe for a safety car, the people pit, maybe it bunches him back up. But that is a bizarre one, because he was right up behind Mr. John, and you don't really need to pit in these 25% races when it's wet.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, as you say, he does struggle with tyres. That could well be the reason. Mike Nguyen still 7/10 behind Alistair, can't make the move on this time round. Here's look at Say Sports for 5th place here on Bazza, who's having a solid race. I think look at that, Say Sports has 0 overtake. Bazza has 41%, so I don't think he's going to get through.
Jack's sitting up behind these guys as well, but he's really out of it with 6 seconds worth of penalties.
Yeah, it's going to be, I suppose, just trying to keep hold of that 7th place now. Mr. John is 7.6 seconds behind, so it's not under too much threat just yet. But he will need to keep that high position now, because with Dom back in 12th, if we don't get a safety car or anything, that'll be bad for their chances in the constructors.
Joe was having a bit of a look at Baz, and now he's got a really good run there. Baz was quite poor through that long swooping right-hander, and he's coming in as well. And so's Joe. Everyone's coming in. That was really close between those two. Jack's trying to overtake a Ferrari in the pit lane.
So they are deciding to pit them. They are making, which is very rare to see, during these races, as you said, Aidan. But they're all coming in. But I'm pretty sure Say Sports and Bazza did touch there, and I think Joe might have some damage.
I'm trying to have a look at that Ferrari as they come down the pit lane past the comms box, and I can't see anything at the minute. Is he missing a flap on one of his sides of the front wing? No, I think the front wing, it might be...
Oh, Dom spotted the final corner! Dom is off at the final corner, sorry Aidan, but he had a chance to get right back with the battle with Jack and Say Sports, but he's lost it at the final corner, got no front wing.
That is big damage for him. So are they all really struggling with tyre? And can we see these guys maybe fight back? It's an AlphaTauri 4-5, which is fantastic for the constructors, with Renault and Ferrari and Racing Point ahead of them, but only scoring with single car ahead of them. If that made any sense. That was awful, England. Mike all over the back of Alistair, yellow flag in sector 1 and 2, but more importantly as well is Owen is dropping almost outside that 3 seconds.
He is, that's a very good point. Yeah, this could just it could be great for Alistair, I suppose, but Mike Nguyen, if he gets through, of course Alistair would still have the 3 seconds gap.
Owen's coming in.
So. Owen is coming in.
Now this throws a spanner in the works, because where is he going to come out? I do believe he will still be... Jordan's coming as well.
I mean, Mr. John is 18 seconds behind, so I think they should probably still
and they should clear
get out
that
ahead of Joe and Jack, and well, surely they should easily manage that, and probably Bazza.
Do we see Mike and Alistair responding? Oh, he's gone wide! The grip looks like it's faded from the Renault, and it might have to be a pit stop for the Renault driver. He went skating off in the S's. Tyres really look like they've gone.
Oh, look at the two AlphaTauris in Tier 1, nearly collided.
Mr. John's past Jordan
in the pit lane.
Oh, and he's letting through.
Yep. And he's letting them back through, yeah, but they nearly ran into each other, which would have been an absolute calamity.
Well, I think they have to pit now. They look so slow on those sets. Just running aboard with Jordan, they look all over the place. It's 21 seconds between Mike and Owen. Yellow flag in sector 3, but there's a safety car now that would really help Mike and Ali B. But
Bazza hit the back of Say Sports. Sorry, Aidan. Bazza just went into the back of Joe, and he's gone wide. And Jack Pearson might have a go now if they have damage. But crucially now, will the top two pit here on this lap? Alistair very wide. He nearly touched.
The tyres look like they've absolutely finished in America. They have to come in, surely. I don't believe they should stay out. They're just going to lose too much time. Owen's got a second on
Owen's
this
just
lap
gone
alone.
purple. Owen's just gone purple in the second sector.
Alistair is in.
Covered in.
Mike is in as well.
in.
So they are Mike's got a 5-second penalty for corner cutting. So that really puts Owen into second place now.
It does, but can Owen maybe come out in the lead here?
It's going to be interesting to see. He'll be right on board then with Owen. He's coming round, approaching this final corner now. Where is the Renault Valsa? He's left his pit box and is now coming down the pit lane. Pit straight now for Mayor Quimby.
It's going to be close, is it? I think
behind
he's just
the
going to do it,
Renault,
Alistair.
ahead of the Ferrari. That's what he needed. He would have been ahead of Mike anyway because of Mike's penalties. But it was the right thing to do, I think, to cover Owen off, because those intros look absolutely finished.
Yeah, definitely the right thing to do in the end, where Owen will be happy as well to have jumped Mike Noon on the racetrack, and we'll see now if Owen has the pace to take this victory.
Take the win on merit as well, because none of the drivers in the top two have penalties. Obviously, Alistair needs to get those tyres at the temp. Owen will have a bit of momentum having been on these tyres a lap. He's gone purple again. But obviously Alistair on a lap fresher as well, which could benefit him. Jordan just up behind Mike. So it'll be interesting to see if he can catch that Ferrari. He doesn't really need to pass him because of the penalties.
That's true. So I wonder if Mr. John then in 5th place now because of those pit stops, is he going to try and go to the end? He's 5.5 seconds ahead of Sayer Sports. Could he steal a 5th place, which would be great for AlphaTauri and constructors if he can hold on to those tyres?
One person who could be in a bit of trouble, maybe Jack. Even if he gets past these cars, he's going to lose the position straight away because of his penalties. He really has shafted himself here. My intervals have gone haywire again, so I'm going to have to keep looking at the mini-map to see track battles. But Baza definitely looking a bit stronger at the minute than Joe, but it is very hard to pass in these conditions.
Oh, and they're going, well, actually it was perfect line for there. Oh, safety car!
Oh, hello! Safety car deployed. Does that save Alistair's bacon a bit from a charge from Mayor Quimby?
Wow.
This
will any of them hit again maybe for new tyres? I don't think it's worth it, is it? It's on very good.
Mr. John, he's thinking about it and does come in. So this is really good for AlphaTauri. He will drop a few spots, but special tyres.
Yeah, if he would have been a sitting duck, wouldn't he, on the restart?
Yeah, he would have. Jack's coming in as well.
That's terrible for him. He's already got the penalty. That's pretty much his race over.
That could drop him out the points. Is it for it's softs?
Oh wow! It's
now, Jack. I'm not sure if you know how wetness works with slicks. It's still raining, mate, and a pair set of softs. No, I don't think they're going to work. The track still looks damp. I'm just going to watch them here.
A bold move. If it pays off and he wins this race despite having a 6-second penalty, it would be quite remarkable.
And it would. Have they caught the safety car? Yes, they have. So the safety car did pick the leaders from the first time of asking, but this has really hampered the likes of Mike and Jack, who have number of penalties. Definitely interesting to see what is going to happen here. Will this car come in after this lap? Will it stay out until maybe lap 12, lap 13, have a wee sprint race on our hands? Because most drivers are on fresh tyres, and Jack is literally just going skating into some corners. It doesn't look overly horrendous, but Inters are definitely quickest, I think.
Well, I mean, there's only 3 laps to go as well, so we'll probably do another lap under the safety car and then restart probably. So, yeah, look, and we're having a couple of other drivers who pit, and indecisively losing it as he exits the pit lane there, but it is only Jack who has gambled on the soft tyres.
And, well, if Jack does something, you usually do the opposite. So, to the other 14 drivers currently in this race, you're still looking fine and dandy.
None of the top 3 fancy pitting for softs.
Oh, he's losing it through there. Yeah, it's definitely not soft.
Has the gamble not worked then? Is he going to come back in the pits? No, he's not. He's sticking to it.
Unless they've had a radio message that it's going to dry, but even then, I don't think it's going to dry in time. And with
I
all
don't
his
think he will.
penalties, he might only still, even if he did make his way through the field and take first, he might still only finish third, fourth.
And the drivers is quite a fair way back. I wonder if we might actually have another lap on the safety car. Looking decisive.
Massive field spread, yeah.
Is just coming down the back straight right now. Half a lap behind.
It is going to be interesting to see this mini dash, because we know from Singapore Mike had wing damage and numerous penalties and still battled Dom Smith. So if he gets a run on Owen, is he going to go for it?
Let's have a quick look at the warnings. Alistair's only got the one warning, Owen has got two, so one more and it's penalty time for him.
Mike, we believe, has, what, 8 seconds worth of penalties?
Jordan's also got a penalty.
Oh.
Didn't see that come up on the screen at the time, but lap 7, he did pick himself up a penalty.
So that throws another spanner into the mix then.
It does, especially with Joe right behind him not having any penalties. So this could be terrible for Jordan's championship as well. It just could very quickly becoming a 2-horse race in the championship after this race if Jordan does drop back with that penalty.
And it is. Owen is where he needs to be. Alistair is where he needs to be as well. Both of them doing the jobs that they're currently being asked of. The safety car is coming in this lap. Jack, the only driver on softs. But 2-lap dash till the finish.
So I'm going to take a wild guess here now and say that I don't think Red Bull Kim and Indecisive are going to catch up in time for this restart unless Alistair goes incredibly slow.
Well, he is backing up the pack, which is something we don't really see in TGP2. A lot of TGP2 front runners don't really back up the pack as if they don't know the rule. But he's doing what he needs to do. He's letting the safety car get away. When is he going to gun it though? It's all about catching the driver out.
Let's see. Can Owen react then? Can Owen react?
Alistair still waiting at the front then. Maybe he's going to gun after that final corner.
I think
he's gone now. Full power, and we're back racing in USA. He has caught Owen out. Mike on the back of him. We've got Jordan as well, who's massively been caught out, and Joe under pressure from Baza as well. But it is going to be line astern as they were into turn 1. It's first for Alistair, second Owen, third Mike Noon, Jordan fourth, and is currently going to drop down to some positions. Mike all over the back of Owen, and it's just really, well, ruined his line through that downhill part, and that's really compromised any chance of an overtake at this part of the circuit. But 9/10 separating first and second. That's top 2 in the championship. They were on the front row of the grid. They're on the leading cars at the minute. Someone has spun in the background.
It's indecisive. It's indecisive at the penultimate corner, but I have to say Jack Pearson's actually not doing too bad on those drives, is he?
No, he's not. The track is riding on board with him. It's not
He's
overly
going for
bad.
Mr. John in 7th.
Oh, he's gone for it. Oh, a bit naughty there from Jack, pushing Mr. John a bit. He's not got the traction at the minute, but I don't think neither did Mr. John. So Jack's on the softs. Hello.
How on earth is he doing this?
He's got temp into them and they're working. Doesn't look overly smooth. The car looks very skatey, but it's working.
I mean, he has got a lot of penalties to take at the end. I think we needed to dry up immediately from just fly through and overtake everyone on this last lap. Mike Noon going wide there to try and get round Owen. Can't get it done. Alistair just has to hold on now for one more lap. He will take this victory.
Running on board with Jack, the track looks damp, but there's no paddles, there's no, like, I don't know how to describe it. The track's not overly, when it looks damp, it's just a bit darker.
It just doesn't, moist.
Yeah, exactly. It's not moist enough. I mean, then there's obviously our working of Alice, just our fastest lap with a 146.3, so a bonus point for him is exactly what he will like, but it is the final lap of round 19 at USA. Your championship leader is extending his lead at the minute, but penalties could mix this up. Mike's going to drop a few. Jordan could drop a few as well. Jack's definitely. Chris can't stay in a session for more than 2 seconds, so it's good to see him still attempting.
Is Owen? Oh, I was wondering if he was getting it lined up there for a move on Alistair. Maybe got a bit of understeer there behind in the dirty air of the car. Here you go. Oh, he's very late on the brakes. Will he fancy having a go if he can get a good exit out this corner, get the traction?
They're both running overtake. Alison's got so much more battery as well to use on this final lap. So Alistair's doing everything he can as well. Mike's getting a bit of a run on Owen. He's pulling out of the slipstream as well. Jordan's dropped massively back from these guys, so really not got the pace at the minute. Is Owen going to try any move? I don't see it happening in the last part of the circuit, especially with the gap of around 6/10. But both
yeah,
of
I don't
those
think it's
cars
going to happen.
Very squiggly through there.
Well, I think Aidan, unless Alistair goes and throws it in the wall in his final few corners, he is about to take another step closer to the title.
Well, you said halfway through the season he had a finger on it, and then you said a couple of races later he had a few fingers on it. He's got one hand on it now. He just needs to acclaim the other one, and then the title is his. But it is a win for the Renault. It's second for Owen. Mike will come across on third, but that will change. Jordan still gets third. Joe gets a podium.
Oh, wow.
So Jordan's dropping to fourth.
Yeah, so Joe does get there. I think this is where he got his first TGP1 win as well, didn't he? Joe, and here he gets a podium in TGP2. Jack only drops down to 9th despite those 6 seconds.
Yeah, not bad from him. Only lost an extra position, I believe, but Ferrari on the podium trying to keep their constructors fight alive. That's the words I was looking for. But it is after a damp US Grand Prix. Just waiting for Red Bull Kim to come across the line, and then that is the classification. So Alison doing the job he needs to do. Owen second, couldn't quite beat Alistair in the end after that late safety car. The gap was coming down from about lap 4 onwards. They were starting to hound in the Renault, but he's fended it off and has won in Austin.
Well, as you're running through the field and everything, I'm going to try and very quickly work out the standings in the constructors and the drivers.
So good. That's what I like about having Dan the man. Normally I'm useless, but having Dan here, the mathematician, can work all of it out for me, and we can have live standings. But there is then your winner from the US Grand Prix in TGP2. It's maybe a surprise podium from Sayre Sports, but he won't care. He's on the podium. It's a bit of champagne from him. But there is then the classification from TGP2 round 19 at the United States Grand Prix. It's also with 26 points, the maximum he can have. It's a hat-trick. It's pole position, fastest lap and the race win. Owen is second. Joe will be delighted coming from 11th to a podium. Jordan will be disappointed. He's starting to get adrift off this championship fight in 4th. Mike is 5th. Mr. John very happy in 6th. Baz at 7th. Now Jack 8th. Jack will be disappointed at P9. He was last, but he is capable of more. Dom will be disappointed after a good qualifying to be P10. Bear Grylls 11th. Angel vs Death 12th. Sir Tom Penguin 13th. Red Bull Kim rounding out the points in 14th place after starting 17th. So a good drive from the Danish man. And I need a drink. But there we are. That is only 3 races left now in this season. Next we jump to Mexico for the final race of the night, and then next week is the final one. It's Brazil and Yas Marina, which we know some people like, some people despise. But very commanding drive from most of the drivers in there. Very difficult conditions. It wasn't wet, it wasn't dry, it was slippy, it was greasy. And they all did well to keep it on the circuit. It's the first wet session as well for TGP2 this season. So the drivers, it was the first taste of it for the drivers. But an 18-minute qualifying session awaits us for Mexico. I'm not a fan of this track. I'm not a fan of USA either, really, to be honest. But it'll be interesting to see what the drivers can do here. Will this one be dry as well? When they load in as well, I'll take a nip down to Renault and I'll ask the weather guy what's happening for quali and the race. The session is about to get back underway. Dan the man has finished his calculations.
I have indeed. So, as it stands then, heading into this race, this is without, of course, any possible penalties that might be added post-race and whatever. But at the moment, I do believe that with 3 races to go, it is Alistair on 326 points now, Owen on 286. So that's what? That's 50 points?
Oh, what, the gap?
40 points.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
40 points. Okay.
Yeah, 40 points.
I was going to say 50. I was like, that's not right.
Yeah. And then Jordan is on 276. Now that definitely is 50 points. Cameron Barbo, of course, didn't score anything, did he, in that race? He's on 242. And then Jack is on 218. So I'm pretty sure that's Jack's championship hope's gone now. In fact, that absolutely is. Jack's championship hope's gone now, if there was any still alive at that stage. But yeah, so really it's the top 3 now in the fight for the championship. There's 78 points available still.
As we load in, Alistair does need to lead the championship by 53 points to not be able to be caught on countback. I'm going to nip back down to Renault. Dry race. Is it wet? Alright, okay. You got a 40-point lead, by the way, bye. So dry quality, dry raced. Renault were polite as ever. Walked in, no.
Yeah, I think you're in Renault's bubble, aren't you? So you are allowed to do that.
I am allowed, yeah, I am in Renault's bubble. I am allowed to nip up and down the paddock whenever I want.
Yeah. In the constructors as well, AlphaTauri are on 383 points after that. Racing Point are on 380. Mercedes are on 334. Renault on 329. And McLaren on 297. So 3 points separate AlphaTauri and Racing Point in the constructors.
We could well see that change as well after today. After this final race, as the cars come flying out of the pit lane. So a 16 minutes, well 17 really left in this session. It's a circuit with many characteristics, Dan, but characteristics that are, well, rubbish.
Well, I mean, I don't really like to drive this track, but I absolutely love watching it. I love watching races around here. I'm just not a big fan of the actual driving the track.
Yeah,
I think
don't like driving it. It's horrible.
I like the how you've got the one sector which is pretty much just a straight line, and then twisty second sector, and the tight final sector. I think it's a lovely circuit, but just not fun to drive.
Not fun to drive, then. Comes down the man. And what I'll do, Dan, is, as we're gearing up for a lap, I'll get you to take us through a lap of Mexico with Camel Babo.
Okay then. Here he is. He's about to come round, of course, to what was the old pedal tarda. Now it's like just the pedal, because it's basically just half, or just the tarda, down the long straight then to start the lap. And as I say a long straight, I really do mean a long straight. In fact, there's Williams directed behind coming by, might end up getting a bit of a tow. Yeah, you're still going down here. You can have a quick read of the paper, quick check for Twitter, hard on the brakes into turn 1, and that's immediately followed by a quick left into turn 2, and then another one into turn 3. Then you get a little bit of a semi-straight again here. Well, it is a straight, but it's not as long as the other one. DRS can be deployed once again. And straight back on the brakes into the first sector, 28.2. It's tip for left-hander, then this right-hander, and then now you have such an awkward double right-hander here. Very, very difficult. It looks a lot harder than what it is. Or it looks easy than what it is. Dom gets out the way there. He goes into turn 8. I think this is turn 9. Now you can ride the curve as he does there. Does not get a disqualification. Then left, right, like it's through the S's. It's a lot of fun to watch. DRS once again enabled. And then you're getting ready now to head into the baseball stadium. Very late on the brakes there. The podium is just the right-hand side. And then the crowd, look at the crowd cheering. There's no global pandemic in the Codemasters game as you go through the exit here, back onto the pedal tarda, round the final corner and across the line, and a 1:15.6 for Cameron Babo.
Clean lap from him, maybe a bit hampered by that Mercedes getting out the way very last minute. So maybe a bit more in the tank from him, but it's a competitive lap time of a 15.6, I think. I can't remember what else we're doing in sweat sessions, that's what I'm basing my time off. But now Jack at 17.1. Not as quick as he used to be on this game, which is a shame. But still competitive, which is where you want to be. You don't really want to be racing on your own.
Yeah, that's very true. Oh,
Thinking of a driver getting a tow. Also getting a tow from Bear Grylls, who is also on a lap. So maybe he might catch this. So not great for the Renault driver. I think he might have backed out of this one. Indeed, he has. So that's the end of his qualifying lap. You've got Jack Pearson as well. He just passed out. So he's got Bear Grylls just ahead of him as well. He could be impeded from that. Owen does a 15.5. So a 10th quicker than Camo Babo. What can Jack do? Can he actually set a lap in this session? Be interesting to see if he can or not, but it is the stadium section now. See the Renault in the background, but that I believe will be surely pitting. Not seen him in 2 runs on a set of tyres.
so you're saying that it's 53 points, the gap that he needs. I think it's only 52, isn't it? Because he will surely win on. He's got the most wins of the season.
That's a good point now, yeah. Owen won't be able to catch him on countback.
So,
you will need to check that.
Yeah, I will check it, but I'm pretty sure I'm right in saying that. But all Alistair needs to do then around here in Mexico to take the title is if he outscores Owen by 12 points or more, he will be the champion in this race.
Owen needs to be what? 3rd?
Yes, I think so, yeah.
So if Owen's 4th, that's it, game over.
Or 4th and fastest lap.
And 4th and fastest lap, that is a good point, yeah. So if Owen is 4th, it's game over, unless he has that fastest lap. So we could be crowning a champion tonight.
That's assuming that Alistair wins, though, because Owen could be like 5th and Alistair could retire,
and then it's blown wide open.
It'd still be on, yeah. But it's just a 12 points of outscoring. 22 then, of course, if you look at Jordan. So, by the end of tonight, it could just be 2-horse race. Unless Jordan has a race of his life here and we see some sort of dramatic retirement from Alistair.
He has been known to bottle things in the past. He's not done it for a while, so maybe there is one coming. I've just been completely watching Owen as I check something on my phone. Who is on a lap that's not invalidated? Joe is on a lap then. No, he's about to start one. I don't know. There's a timer.
No, Joe is on a lap. Joe is on a lap. No, he's not on a lap.
I don't know.
He was on a lap and then he abandoned the lap. But he didn't invalidate the lap.
Driver yet to do a lap then is Alistair. I was thinking Jack Pearson squared at Mexico. Is he going to be a big name stuck at the back? But
Mike Noon there looks just gone purple in sector 1.
He is on a lap as well. 28.3. I don't know if that's the right timing. I believe it is. Where can he put that? Ferrari's grown more and more competitive as the season's gone on. Ugly helmet. But where can he go as he enters the stadium section? It's a very slow section, this. But the fans do get a good look at the cars. Where can he put now? This Ferrari rounding the final corner. Very wide line from Mike Noon, and it's a 15.4 from him. Car behind him then, Alistair. A driver yet to do a lap. The current championship leader. Let's go for a lap with him then. Let's see what he can do on his second attempt with 10 minutes left in the session. The Renault driver. We did see Jack not do a lap in USA, so Alistair will not want to follow suit with that. So let's see what he can do on this lap. They're very smooth through the first couple of corners. You don't want to invalidate it, and he was very lucky there not to invalidate it. That corner's very strict on exit. What can he do through the first sector? It's a 27.9. I think that's the quickest we have seen from anyone so far.
Yeah.
Bouncing over the curves at Renault, looking very unsettled as it comes to the middle part of the lap. But how is he going to hook up this S section? Down into 4th then.
Looks good. It's amazing how much he can ride the curb there. Cameron Babago is from pole.
15.4 from the McLaren driver. The front end didn't look like it was biting at all to the first part of the S's. It hooked a bit more up as the circuit went on. But here he comes in, using all the circuit on entry. Where can he put this Renault? And it's a 14.4. Not 15.4. Yeah, no, 14.4.
14.5.
14.5, aye.
For Alistair.
So it's 9/10 clear then of second again. But they did bring it down to 4/10 last time, so can they do the same again? Owen's on a flyer now.
Yeah, Owen is on a lap. He was 28.1 first sector. So, and Alistair was 27, wasn't he? 27.9. So he's 2/10 off.
Already
2/10 off already.
It's interesting to see what he can do then as we approach the stadium section. He's in the position in qualifying. He doesn't want to be in the race, otherwise it's curtains.
Down. And he's 10th down.
Out of it.
And I think he might have got slightly held up a little bit by his teammate there as he was coming around just completing the first sector. And he's actually abandoned the lap entirely and decided to dive into the pit lane.
Another driver improving on his current lap time of 59 is the Mercedes of Jack Pearson. Much better qualifying so far from himself. Here we go then. Can he keep it within limits?
Sorry, Aidan. Fighting to keep Mercedes into the constructors' title, really, for the chance. Oh, he's gone very wide there.
He's kept it though. It's not deleted his lap, and as long as it's an improvement, I think he will take it. Car number 74. Then it has been Dom for Mercedes that has been on top the last couple of weeks, or showed a bit more promise than Jack. Goes second with a 14.8.
Second with a 14.8, and he quite clearly missed the apex as well, didn't he, as he was entering the stadium?
Is there another contender then for pole position? But Owen, we could be crowning a champion after Mexico if he can't improve on his current pace. Jordan is abandoned his lap. He's invalidated Summer. Bear Grylls is 7th. He's quite high up the order as well, and he, I don't believe, is improving on this lap. No, he's 6 down. Doesn't have the battery on either. Dom Smith in across the line, 16.2, puts him P6. Bit of a gap though to Mayor Quimby, so maybe he's comfortable P5. Joseph Sayer is improving as well in that first sector by about half a second. That Ferrari does not look stable.
Well, this could be the race. Alistair becomes the youngest ever champion in any TGP series. On any game, we've been on F1, FIFA, Project Cars, Dirt Rally. Have I missed any from that? He could be about to. Yeah, there will be something, and he could be about to become the youngest ever champion.
Here we go then. It's been massive improvements through sector 1 and 2 from the Ferrari. P6. But again, a big gap between 5th and 6th. So the cars that Allison would like ahead of Owen, he's not getting it at the minute. Anyone else on a lap as well? M-Shep is on a lap, and he is improving as well on a 16.5. So can he get any closer to Mayor Quimby? What can the Alpha do? It's P6. Again, a big gap though between 5th and 6th.
Does have good quality pace, Shepherd. Here's Mike Newton, he's 5/10 up, look, in the second sector. He's also on a quick lap here. I think Jordan was also on a quick lap. He's just coming around the same section as well. They're going to be following each other across the line within a matter of a few seconds. Mike Newton goes into second place. Jordan goes 4th, only 4th.
So they're getting closer to the benchmark, and Owen is dropping down. Alistair started his next lap as well. He's just started getting a bit of a toll from this Alpha Tauri. I believe that is Jordan. It is Jordan.
Yeah, look at that.
Is he going to get out the way?
One of his biggest title challenges throughout the season, just gave him a lovely tow.
He hasn't invalidated his lap. There's also getting away with it there, and a bit of a tow, maybe a bit of dirty air from that Alpha Tauri. He is slightly up. So he's finding more time as the Renault, and if he's got another set of softs, he might be able to cross the line and maybe squeeze in another lap, or if he ruins this, he's definitely got time to dive in and try again. Can he hook up this S? Is a bit more, the car looks a bit more stable this time around. There's definitely more time in this from him.
Look at that. Shepherd went for another lap and has gone ahead of Owen. Into 6th now.
So Owen really dropping down here. Alistair's up by a 10th.5 here in that middle sector, so he's finding even more time on his lap. A bit of understeer of the car, not hooking up maybe as much as he would have wanted it. Using all the entrance available. Running really wide before the corner. Shortest run to the line. It's a 14.5, so it does improve, but only just. Only just. But any improvement is an improvement.
Alistair is on it, isn't he? He is on it. He wants this title today, and I think he should easily get another lap in, shouldn't he? He should be able to get back. It's only 1 minute 14 lap, so he might, it's the corner there, but he should probably get another lap in. Babo was into 9th there. He's gone into 5th. He was there already.
Yes, he's in the pits, so that would have been interesting from him.
Yeah.
Owen not gone out yet. Who are the drivers that can maybe challenge him? Maybe Dom needs to find a bit more pace. I know he's not strong at Mexico, but P11 is very disappointing. Jack's on an outlap as well. Can he find the time he needs to beat Alistair in the crunch time of quality?
We saw Jack Pearson go very wide, didn't he, at this corner that he's approaching now on the previous lap. So he surely can improve.
Alistair, is he going to make this? Bit cheeky from himself there.
Yeah.
Very cheeky from him there. That is.
I think he might have to do the same kind of thing on his outlap as well if he wants to get another lap in.
He is going to have to be very quick if he wants one in. But Jack then starting his lap and down the man. It's crunch time in quali. It's also crunch time for you. Take us through a lap.
Okay then. Let's see if he can do it then. Can he get through a lap without cutting any corners? As it just took 3 attempts last week to get a lap in. Commentary watching Jack entertain. Oh, and look at that. Immediately he has done it. And well, unless he backs off now and tries to save energy and tyres, he will get one more lap in. He will start on slightly older tyres though for the race. But that's so disappointing because we know how much quicker Jack can go, and he's just gone and blown it in the very start.
He can go quicker, that he can, and we know Jack is a quick driver, but he's very, very clumsy. But the attention will turn to Owen because he's on an outlap at the minute. No movement in the Renault garage as of now to whether that Renault is coming back out. But Owen then about to gear up for a lap. That Renault is moving.
It is coming out. Here we go. He is coming. Well, he's going to have to really get the corner cutting in. Of course, if you've got drivers who are setting laps as well, you can't really get in the way. It's not.
Especially with Owen coming down as well. This could cost him. This could cost him getting a lap in here, having to let Owen through.
It is. And Owen is immediately going for the toe look as Alistair does slow down straight away. I don't think Alistair's going to make it unless he really cuts corners.
It's going to have to be quick. I don't believe in TGP you're allowed to fly through corners. You're allowed to go through corners to allow drivers to pass you, but he's got a clear.
And you certainly can't just fly through corners while there's a driver directly ahead of you on a lap, because that will just totally put them off.
If anything will come of it, but can Owen get any higher than 7th? He validates his lap. I believe that will be the end of it. I don't think he'll want to go for a second round. Mike has ended his qualifying session. Owen very smooth through there. He's got a Renault behind him who's trying to fit in the lap with 20 seconds remaining on the clock. Jack, I believe, has stayed out.
And Owen is 2 tenths up. Owen is 2 tenths up. Jack has gone. Jack has gone again. We're going to see a flurry of laps at the final finish here. Round the final corner for Owen. Then let's see where can he put it. He needs to improve seriously.
4. Is Alistair going to make it? Yes. 2 seconds on the clock. He's made it.
Wow, he's done a Lewis Hamilton.
Jack's
Pearson
up as
well. Jordan's coming around the final corner. He's a 10.5 up. Can he get into the top 3?
He does. Can Jack respond? He's down in apparently sector 3, but we're in sector 3.
Well, this is where he lost the time at the very start of the final sector, and he made the corner, so he was slightly down, but ultimately you would think he would end up improving. Let's see, round the final corner. Oh, look at that final corner line, and he goes second.
Is Owen going again? Owen possibly going again? No, he's not. So attention is now turned to Alistair, who is improving still. But I believe he's going to get pole anyway. But you know, you want to keep improving though.
Yes, if Jack Pearson got his first and second sectors from the previous lap, he would have got pole there, but he did not. And Alistair has invalidated this run, but it's not going to be costly in any way unless Angel vs Death is about to put in the lap of his life. No, he is invalidated as well.
I'm going to have to jump to my headset by the sounds of it.
It's going to take pole.
Oh, I thought I turned off the console there, but I've accidentally ejected a game. Whoops. That was a shite there moment. Does improve. 14-2, but it was invalidated, I think. So Dan, you are main for about 30 seconds.
Okay then, he has gone to sort out his mic. I believe he is echoing a bit. That might just be the excitement though of his brother very possibly about to win the title. In fact, actually it's me who's echoing.
It's a me thing
his
though.
Microphone. Yeah.
Just keep talking for me.
Dom making his way into the pit lane then. He will be the last driver to retire.
Okay, it's fine.
Jack Pearson starting in second.
Exactly what he needs though. That is perfect for Alistair.
Yep. If the race results are like the qualifying results, Alistair will be standing on that podium with his car on the podium in front of the crowd in the baseball stadium at the end of this race as a champion.
He could be his 4th attempt in TGP2, and he's taken another pole position. And there it is then, qualifying. It's Jack pit by less than 1/10 of a second. Alistair on pole, Jack second, Mike third, Jordan fourth, Owen is fifth. Camel Babel will be a bit disappointed with 6th. M-Ship was delighted with P7, Joe P8, Bear Grylls 9th, Dom inside that top 10, maybe hoping for P11 to get those fresh medium compound of tyre. Where was I? Mr. John 11th, Nailjack 12th, Chris 13th, Baza 14th, 2.1 seconds off the pace. Indecisive 15th, Angel vs Death 16th, Sir Tom Penguin 17th, and Red Bull Kim rounding out the grid.
There's some nice symmetry as well in the battle for the constructors, because you've got Jordan the AlphaTauri 4th and they're Owen in 5th, and then you've got I think it was Mr. John in 11th in the AlphaTauri, and then Neljak in 12th in the racing points. They're separated by just 3 points, remember.
Well, it is very close in the constructors.
Dark clouds up above, but as you say, we don't think we're going to get any rain to spoil Alistair's possible parade at the end of this race.
Well, he could be the youngest champion in TGP history. Currently held by, well, we're unclear on that. Possibly Roy, Jovial Manatee. I don't have the game audio coming out my headset, so hopefully I'm not screaming the Houston.
Nice, sound fam.
That's fine. But it's going to be interesting if we are going to be crowning a new champion in TGP2. The lights are coming on. It's 5 lights in Mexico. It's lights out. And away we go for the Mexican Grand Prix. That's so weird not having any audio. I can just hear myself. Jack's got a very good start. Alistair's got a poor one. Jack and Mike, they're all in the slipstream. It's like heading down to Russia turn 2. Who's going to be leading into turn 1? Who's later on the brakes? Who's braver? Jack trying to get the inside. Alistair trying to defend. It's getting very Hamilton Vettel 2017 Messi.
Oh, I'm touched.
Bit of damage there from Mike Newton. Also trying to bully his way past Mike as they get very close. Side by side, Owen is still not where he needs to be. He's still P4, but it is obviously only lap 1. But Alistair ahead of Jack Pearson. So very
brilliant start.
Close.
Brilliant start for Jack Pearson, and then Alistair Mike Newton almost got round on Alistair as well, but then Mike Newton went into the back of Jack Pearson as they were going into turn 3, which has caused, as you can see there, has caused damage to Mike Newton, and well, I think he might have to come in if it's so severe that he can't get through the corners. Look at that, he's all over the shop. Owen is in 4th, Joe in 5th, a great start for him.
It's a lifeline then for Owen, knowing that the car in front has to make a change off front wing, so that'll put him into the position that he needs it to be. Are we going to see VSC?
Cameron Babo's off. A virtual safety car, Cameron Babo spun heading into the final sector. He had a terrible start once again. I don't know what's been going on with his start sides. It got away that time, but that's terrible start. Owen picked under this VSC to change his front wing, so that's a...
There it is, just give me 2 seconds as I adjust my audio, so it is coming up my headset. There we go.
There was trying to get right on the edge there of Jack Pearson.
Camel Babel with a fire. Oh,
he's retired. He's retired in the pit lane, I think. Camel Babel.
So the it might not be happening just yet then for the Renault, unless Joe has or Jordan have anything to say about it. Dom up into 7th, so he will be very chuffed with that. When are we going to see this VSC come in?
Jordan did not have a great start in 6th. I think he got caught up in a bit of the Constantina effect that happened from the Jack and Mike Newell incidents. We're back underway.
That we are now back underway then for Abu Dhabi, for Mexico. That's me getting carried away. But what can Jordan do then on the back of M-Shep, who's picked up 6 seconds already, looking to go up the inside.
Jordan, is he going to go for it? Oh no, he's very conservative on the brakes there, and Shepard runs quite wide. But so no position game for you there then. Can Alistair get Jack down this straight? Won't have any DRS until next time round, of course.
He's already got more battery than Jack as well.
Back.
He's already got more battery than Jack. He is getting on the straight, but not enough at the minute. The gap is coming down, but obviously not close enough. Jordan then on the back of M-Shep, is he going to go for it? Oh, he is. Jordan's actually attempting an overtake, and it's not worked.
Oh, he should have gone for it. He just needs to be a bit more risky on the brakes sometimes, especially when the chances of your championship is about to fly out the window. Can he get it done this time round? There we go. Oh yes, now he does it.
He is now ahead. So can he now set sights on Joe and then Owen? Alistair will be praying he can. I don't think he knows he can win the championship at this point. I've not actually told him, but he's not winning anyway, but he needs to get past Jack.
It won't be happening. It won't be happening at this rate, but Alistair will have DRS here, won't he? For the first time in this race. Could he go for it? Is he going to go for it already now into the stadium section? What a view this would be if you're in that crowd. But he can't get it done.
Trying to clean it before Owen has time to catch up, I think. Maybe trying to force the move. He doesn't want to win anywhere near him.
But Alistair getting so close behind Jack and Owen trying to go for a move there does allow Owen to close in a little bit more. But Owen, he's not going to get the DRS.
But Alistair's got it now on Jack. That he is. He's in the toe now. He's gaining and gaining and gaining. What can the Renault do? Jack does go defensive. Alistair pulls to the left-hand side. There a slam shot on the Renault. He tries to go round the outside. Car number 21 is ahead off the Mercedes and is doing what he needs to do. Now he needs to hope that the drivers in the field do what they need to do, and he did pick up the DRS as well from Jack, who was coming back at him. He must be running a lot less downforce than that Renault.
He's going for it.
Oh, banging wheels.
He almost touched Jack Pearson, goes on the inside. He's
tries the old switcheroo.
Oh, they've touched.
Alistair's
got a penalty.
Alistair's got a penalty. That changes the face of this race. Of the poet, and Jack. Oh, okay.
And Jack gets a penalty as well, so Owen is effectively the lead now. I'm not sure I'll still be too happy about that penalty because I'll have to say, certainly the final warning looked like he basically got bumped off the track by Jack. But, well, I have a feeling that's going to be discussed after the race. But right now, Owen is in the lead at the end of this race, not on the road, but he is on the timing screen with the penalties.
Well, as long as he doesn't pick up any other penalties, any other warnings, if he was forced off the road, I believe you can get them removed, but if he had picked up another warning from now to the end of the race, that will be the end of it. And Jack not gaining too much.
He's not. Well, neither of them are using overtake. Look, neither of them are using overtake because they got such little left.
Jordan's into 4th.
Jordan into 4th. Got Alistair and Jack on around, both on 37% overtake.
Owen,
6-second penalty. Yeah, Owen's got 76% overtake here. He is just loving what he's seen in front of him.
And he is. It is lap 5 as well already. I was thinking it was something like lap 3 or 2. But we'll see what's happening in the YouTube comments. Someone did put something. But Jordan now, he has gone purple in that first sector. So can he reel in Owen and put space between what Alistair needs for the championship?
Well, if you're Owen now, two questions. One, is he aware of the penalties of the drivers ahead? He'd probably be aware of Jack's. I wonder if he's aware of Alistair's. And 2, does Owen, if the top 2 stay out here, does Owen possibly consider pitting at this stage?
Well, he's dropped a second back to Jack. Alistair he needs to get that bit of a gap. He can't have the DRS trains up behind him. Jack thought about coming in there or lost the rear end. It was one or the other.
Well, Owen was very squiggly through the final sector there, and Jordan is closing in about a tenth every few
Here
seconds.
comes Jack,
Here we go, Jack's going for the lead.
Can he go for it? Pulling to the left-hand side. Who's later on the brakes this time around? Jack retakes the lead. Can also try then the old switcheroo. He's got a good exit, has the Renault. Will he have DRS? I don't think he will. He pulls to that right-hand side and breezes back past that Mercedes. Jack will want the win, but he has got 6 seconds with the penalties, and Owens rear-ended him as he got damage.
Oh!
They did the same in Australia, those two. Has Owen got damage from that? But Jordan's coming.
Can't see anything massive, but yeah, Jordan, well, he was gaining, but then he dropped back a little bit there. But look at that. Alistair then back into the lead. What an amazing battle this is. Remember, as you see in this,
oh, Jack, come on.
Jack Pearson has a 9-second penalty now. This is crazy stuff.
Well,
there
Alistair, you'll be waiting until the next week, unfortunately. But it'll be interesting to see what Owen does behind Jack, because we know Owen can be a bit impatient, and Jack.
I think we'll do the opposite.
Always pin. Owen's in.
I thought I had a feeling he'd do the opposite to Jack there, and he comes in. I wonder if Jordan might also fancy coming in. He doesn't. He stays out. So Owen is in then, and if he can get a good outlap and not get within traffic, he could take the lead here on the road.
Mediums go on then. Can't quite see the pit stop time on the spectate cam, which is a bit annoying. No traffic for him by the looks of it, so exactly what he needed. Dom Smith then is 12th, and he has pitted as well on the medium. Mike picks up a penalty as well. Joe is an impressive 4th. Jordan has gained about a 10th on this lap. Alpha's pulling away from Jack, so he's picked up the pace. Maybe because he's seen Owen pitting, is it right time to get a move on, especially with this penalty.
We've got some drivers then who have decided to go into the hard tyres due to pit, and they also Nell Jack did pit 4 laps ago, but Shepard, who's just pitted, who was having a good race, he's put the hards on him. Might work, I suppose. It's a long stint on the mediums, but he should probably get to the end of the mediums fine.
The mediums probably should, yeah, it depends when you put them on. I think maybe on lap 1 maybe they would have started to go off, but Jack really falling back now from Alistair. The gap is almost 2 seconds. Be interesting to see where those guys come out. Alistair has stayed out, Jack has pitted, and Jordan stayed out. So Alistair is risking it here, maybe hoping for a safety car with Jordan up into 2nd. And if there's a safety car now, what a race we're going to have. Mr. Jordan stayed out as well.
So Jack has a 9-second penalty if he just tuned in. He was a crazy first couple of laps, but Jack Pearson cut the track a bit too many times. And there we go on exit, and Owen is easily through.
So has Alistair made the right call, staying out then, because he was pulling away from Jack. So maybe he still has pace left in them tyres. The gap to Alistair is 21.7 between Alistair and Owen. But is that going to come up, or is that going to start coming down? The two AlphaTauris in 2nd and 3rd. Need to pit though, but doing their constructors' points tally not too shabby. The gap's not flying down between Alistair and Owen, so maybe Alistair wanting that fresher charge if he knows he has that pace. Yeah,
I think Owen is quicker than Alistair at the minute. Just having a look at the sector times, but it's not by a significant margin. I think if Alistair pits now, very close.
Which he has, he is coming in. So here we go then. Is Jordan staying out? Mr. John surely has to come in then for AlphaTauri. He is.
No, Mr. John's coming in.
Where is Owen? He's got a bit of traffic. This is perfect timing for him. He's been massively held up through that part.
Oh, he has. Owen's having to go through on Angel versus Death around the peloton the corner. This is going to start nicely. Oh, Angel versus Death went to pit.
That has really helped out Alistair on this one then, who's leaving the pit lane now and is ahead.
And Jack Pearson is right on Owen now as well after that.
Can he find a way past the racing point? No, because he is slow in a straight line. But Alistair's not quite got the gap he needs to avoid dropping down due to penalties. But he is in first, where he needs to be, and I'm not sure on warnings for Owen. But this could be a fantastic ending to this race.
What an incredible moment that was then. Angel versus Death was obviously trying to pit, and just drove straight into the side of Owen, which slowed him down dramatically, and has gave Alistair a 2.5 cushion for him to build on. Unbelievable. There's been a lot of times in this championship where Alistair's been incredibly fortunate with certain events. There's another one, but it's not 3 seconds, crucially.
No, but it is building 2.8 now, and especially if Jack and Owen do start fighting. If Owen picked up a bit of damage from that incident as well, definitely not going to help. It's up to 3 seconds at the minute. It's dipping between 3 and 2 seconds. Trying to watch Jack stay within track limits is laughable. But we've got Owen does not have DRS, and Jack is a bit more overtake than for Pearson. Jordan has come in as well. I completely missed that. So he's been jumped massively by these guys. But not much Jack can do in a straight line. I can picture him in the minute screaming, "What wings are you running?" in the party. But Baza leading this race then. 3.4 seconds. So has Owen picked up that bit of damage, or is the fresher tyres from Alta really helping him here in Mexico? He's only got one car ahead of him, which is Baza, who is yet to pit in this race. And Jordan can be one to watch out for as well.
Sorry, that was strange there, Aidan. Jack was right behind Owen, but just didn't even bother to even deploy his DRS.
9 seconds with the penalties. Maybe he's just thinking there's no point here. Owen's probably having a go at him. Don't overtake me! You've got penalties, I'm in the title fight.
It's very true.
And of course, he is in the top 6. He's not in the bottom 6, so he is entitled.
That's a good point. That is probably what was being said.
So those two, well, after Australia, it was not great between the two, and rear-ending the back of Jack. And it'll be interesting to see if Jack does pass him, because he is losing massive amounts of time now to Alistair, who's gaining on the back of Baza, who is now going to take the race lead.
Yeah, Baza not coming in the pitch just yet. Alistair having to make an overtake on the road, but there we go. And here's Jack and Owen. Jack was right there alongside there, but Owen just stays ahead. 4 seconds the gap now. In fact, it'll be more. In fact, it'll be 5 seconds the gap between Alistair and Owen. So
he is, I think, comfortably going to win this race unless he picks up another penalty. But it's Jack. He's going to go for it now.
For it.
Right at the inside. Can he keep it within the track? Yes, he can. No, he can't.
No,
oh my God!
No, he can't.
This man. This man. Well, he has lost 10 TGP races due to penalties where he's crossed the line first, or he's been second and the driver in front of him's had a penalty and then he's picked up one. So 10 races lost due to penalties, and he's not doing his cause any better here. 3.7 seconds now the gap to Alistair, but he is not a threat. To Baz.
How many podiums do you think he's lost due to penalties?
It's got to be 15 plus, surely. Because when he's losing the win, Alistair sets the fastest lap as well. So is he going to be able to get 2 poles, 2 race wins, and 2 fastest laps from tonight?
Wow.
He wasn't too confident heading into these 2 tracks, but he's standing out in style.
That would be quite something if he was to achieve that. And if Owen was to finish third, it would be 11 points that Alistair would gain on him. And it's 12.
And Jordan's coming as well. But Jack's 12 seconds worth of penalties could stop the title from being won if Jordan can get past Owen, because he is catching, and I do believe Owen will have damage. Surely it's just not visual damage.
Yeah, and then we would, if it was to say like that, and Owen was to get third, or even if it was to get second, we would head into next week where really Alistair would need just a point or 2 to get the championship. Look at Dom, meanwhile, going from 7th place in on Blair Grills. Further down the pack, there's a bit of a jam for him. There's 3 of them, 3 abreast into this side right hand here. Oh, wow, they all getting through there.
Baza is on
there, I think.
Fresh softs, though, so you can understand why he's a bit tetchy to get going.
Yeah, it's very true. Baza just gone out the pit lane, has a great first stint, didn't he, on those medium tyres, and well, he could easily get into a top 6 at least here. As if Shepard gets another penalty, he's had quite a few penalties in this race as well.
He is going to go up the inside. Oh, that's a shame. He is going to go up the inside of Dom.
Oh dear.
Up the inside of Dom. I think Jack is heading for that fate as well. Jordan now within a second of Owen. But Owen within a second of Jack.
Bazza got his line completely wrong through stadium section and he was very lucky to stay ahead of Dom. Blair Grills as well is right behind Dom.
All over the back of Dom, yeah.
Down the straight.
We got DRS wide open then, not using the overtake. Dom looking too slippery in a straight line.
And look, neither of them have got overtake left right now down this straight.
Oh, I thought he was thinking about it there. Yeah, I thought he was thinking about it there for a sec, Dan, but had to stop better off it. Probably rightly so. The gap now 7 seconds at front. Alistair has got an absolute shift on.
Oh, must be getting so annoyed here. Stuck behind Jack. Jack has 4 penalties. Owen hasn't even had the warning in this race. He is being held up big time by, and of course Jordan is right there as well. Just behind.
Like Dom said to Jack a couple of races ago, you lifting for a corner is going to lose you a lot less than you just sacrificing it for that 3-second time penalty. And he's not really taking that advice on board, but can Jordan find his way past Owen? He's got a lot of overtake. So does Owen.
May well do so.
He is gaining. He's gaining, but this is Jordan. He's not overly ballsy, but he's going to breeze past. And that is third place then for Jordan. No, later on the brakes.
Late on the brakes.
And Jordan
and he keeps it.
Stays fourth.
I'm just thinking there's a possibility here that Owen could have a bit of a nightmare scenario. If he gets tangled up in some sort of incidents here, that would hand the title to Alistair.
That is true, because Jordan could be a real outsider now, but the constructors is still all to play for between AlphaTauri and Racing Point. I think you said 3 points. I think you said it was.
Yeah, AlphaTauri are 3 points ahead.
And with Mr. John in 6th and Jordan 4th, it's looking very good.
They will probably be extending the lead, and Neljak actually disconnected as well, which is terrible for them. Just rejoined. So it's looking good for AlphaTauri in that respect. Jack Pearson goes very wide and tries to get another penalty there.
Chris has found his way past Neljak. He's got Michael over the back of him. These guys have a handful of penalties though, so it's not going to stay that way. Can Mike find his way past Chris? I can see this ending in absolute tears.
Well, on that previous lap, as Jordan was closing in on Owen because Owen being held up by Jack, Jordan did get 2 warnings, so he's on the edge of a penalty here. Here we go down the straight once again, and Owen saved up a lot of overtake,
over the back
and he might be able to go for it.
Here we go. He's going to that right hand side and makes the move on Jack Pearson. I believe has 12 seconds or 15 seconds worth of penalties at this point. So Jordan is in a net podium, but he'll also want to be beating the Racing Point. Is Jack going to come back here? Oh, and I don't believe he is, as the intervals have gone haywire again. Mr. John, though, for AlphaTauri, all over the back of Joe. Now, this is fantastic for AlphaTauri, if they can get a 4th and a 5th.
It's huge, AlphaTauri, and Bazza just got himself a penalty, but he's closing up on these guys as well on the fresh softs.
It'll be interesting to see what Bazza can do as well. He's got a few penalties, like you just said, but it'll be interesting to see if he can pass and pull the gap. A massive gap
just got
there.
Past Chris. Oh, you're saying it could end in tears, and nearly did there between Mike Noon and Chris, and a side by side again into turn 4. DRS for Mike Noon, but Chris is alongside. Oh, there we go! Huge crash. It's safety car. Safety car.
Now that has really hampered Jack and Alistair then. He had a massive gap, but if Owen does have the damage, he should pull that gap back out. Is anyone going to pit? Jack is coming in.
Jack is pitting. Well, he's got a load of penalties. He's got a load of penalties, but I suppose he could actually probably save one. No, they don't save them, do you, for corner cuts in the pit lane?
Is he going to go?
Puts fresh softs on. Well, that massive accident, huge crash that we just seen there between Chris and Mike Dude. You said it would end in tears.
You know when you just get a feeling, you see 2 drivers like Magnussen and Grosjean side by side, you just know it's not going to end well.
Did you see the crash? Yeah, it was absolutely huge.
I was in the broadcast camera and panning down the straight because of the wall. We do apologise, Dom. We know that's not what you want on the streams, but it's funny.
Well, look, crashes do happen, and they are two great racers, and they were going side by side.
What I will say is something that's completely flew over my head is Alistair does have 3 seconds. What's
Yeah,
a penalty?
exactly. Yeah, Alistair does have 3 seconds with the penalties. This could be terrible for Alistair, and Owen, despite being held up by Jack for several laps with so many penalties, he would have been getting so frustrated. He still hasn't even had the warning. He could take this win now. Jordan, though, was right there as well, but he's on the edge of a penalty.
It's coming in. So Alistair's got 2 laps to pull 3 seconds. Can he do it? It's going to be very close, especially if Jordan has a go at Owen as well. That could really help. We've got Mr. John Baza on a set of softs as well behind that, but I think even on fresh softs that might be a bit of an ask.
I think you're only going to get the top 9 who are going to catch up to the safety car area. In fact, I'm not even sure Joe will make it. As he head for this restart then, what an incredible moment this is for the championship. Can Alistair find 3 seconds? And look at that, the 2 Mercedes have collided on the safety car, but the penalties will be removed. Good restart for Alistair, I think, Caden.
It is, yeah, he's timed it well. A bit of wheel spin out the final corner, but here comes Jordan. Oh, no, never mind. On the back of Owen, all I'm using that will take down the main straight to Alistair. Needs to pull 3 seconds on Owen.
Got Bazza going for Mr. John for 4th place, and he's got it done.
Fantastic move. I thought I was on board with Jordan there. Obviously not, it was Mr. John. There was a Rebel flying up the inside. That's why you've got Specsavers. The gap is only 4 tenths, so there's no DRS, so it is going to have to be full gun, full send from Alistair if he's wanting that 3 second gap. He'll be wanting Jordan to maybe have a look at Owen. But
this must be such a strange... Sorry, Aiden.
No, that's alright, on you go.
I was saying, it must be such a strange situation this for Owen, because of course he doesn't really need to go for the move on Alistair, but if he tries to just stay comfortable and stay behind them, Jordan could quite easily pounce and get ahead.
That he could, or if he does push a bit too hard, trying to keep Jordan behind him, he could pick up a penalty himself. Andy puts that in the chat, Jack with more penalties than Rangers, that's not wrong. The clutch wouldn't register for Camel Babbo, so that's why he couldn't get off the line.
Wow, that explains the terrible night he's had.
The clutch not registering.
With McLaren.
No will indeed. The gap is coming up a bit between Alistair and Owen, but I don't think there's enough in it. Alistair still pulling away, I think, on the straight. He's very jumpy now. Jack's on his way past Red Bull Chem. Jack now on the back of Dom. Is Dom going to let Jack go here? They do have penalties. I don't believe he will. No, thinking better off it.
We did see Dom and Jack. We had the big incident in the safety car restart. Got together, so Dom might not be too happy about that. But I think is Jack going to go for it now? The side by side.
Backing out of it. Mike takes the fastest lap.
Mike steals the fastest lap.
So things were looking rosy for him. But not anymore. He's still going to win on the track by the looks of it, but not in the official standings. Jordan, I don't believe, has a penalty either, so it could be 3rd. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Jordan picks up a 3 second time penalty.
It's just got a penalty.
Well, that time the commentator's curse working in my favour for once. Oh, sorry, working in Alva's favour. But rounding the final corner, he is going to win this race on the track. But the late safety car has compromised him big time, and Owen does take the win in Mexico to eat into Alistair's championship lead. Not by much though, and he's still got a very slim chance of it next week. It's Joe in 4th, Bearfield and a very impressive 5th, John in 6th. Mr. John will be happy with 7th. Jack, will he hold on to 9th? I don't believe he's got a big enough gap to nail Jack. Is he dropping to 10th? No, he's not. Mike is 11, who survived that crash.
How did he get away with that?
I don't know.
But, well, what a dramatic race that was.
That it was. That late safety car, chaos.
Just with Dom having that incident with Jack under the safety car, if Dom gets the 5 seconds removed, that will promote him to 4th, I think. But as you run through the order, I will very quickly, before we go, try and work out the standings. Run
down into Renault quickly. Alistair can't remember if we got any more warnings or not. So we could see a penalty removed if he was
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
bundled off the
I forgot
track.
about that.
We'll need to check that one, but there is Owen then, winning again from not actually winning. That seems to be making a habit of it this season, does Owen? Winning when not winning on the circuit. What can next week hold in store for the title fight? Can Owen pull back a miracle and clinch the TGP2 title? Or can Alistair hold on and be the youngest champion in TGP2 history?
It was Mike Newman, wasn't it? He got the fastest lap still, yeah.
It was Mike as well, but there is the running order. Alistair did not get another warning.
Oh.
So that, I think, will jump down to the stewards and see if that penalty will be removed. It won't win him the championship, but it will extend his championship.
Yeah,
but,
I think there's like it.
Yeah.
I think there'd be like a 6 point more than that swing in it, wouldn't they? The 6 point swing if that was to get removed.
So, nipping down to Renault, I do believe they're used to appealing things, are Renault. So, let's see what the stewards have to say about that one. But there is then the Mexican Grand Prix. Owen winning due to an Alistair penalty pending removal. Jordan will be happy with third. Not had the luck later on in the season. But next week is the final week. It will be round 21 and 22. We will be crowning a TGP2 champion, whether that be Volt Mayor Quimby or whether that be my little brother Alistair Bain.
Just before we go, I've worked out the standings, although I've said this could change. It's Alistair on 344, Owen is on 311, and then Jordan is on 291. But obviously, if those penalties get removed, that will change things. And in the constructors, it's 410 for Racing Point. They take the lead, largely because of Owen's win. And then AlphaTauri are on 406, I believe. But again, if Owen loses the win, that will then lose them 6 points, and it'll be AlphaTauri jumping to the lead.
That will be so. It's incredibly close, and especially after these two races, Dan, it's spicing it up a bit more.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. That's what I like to see.
It is. It is incredibly close between all the drivers. But next week is the final week. We are crowning a champion next week. Join us then at 7:25 for rounds 21 and 22.